bamboo.
What are you doing, man? Welcome to another fun-filled, star-studded episode of This Is Unusable.
This is
my
unusual.
God. It is. And that was an unusable intro. I was confounded by whatever it is. You just interrupting koala and then you did an Australian accent. That was good.
Koala's famously Australian. Hate to break it to you.
Koalas famous for their Australian accents and their sexually transmitted diseases. Famously riddled with syphilis, I believe, or gonorrhea, or one of those two
I get
things.
those cute koala crabbies up in my cooch.
Who hasn't bedded a koala and then had to go to the doctor because of something itching down there afterward? That's what sex tourism is in Australia. Look, the koalas are down. They're always down.
With the sickness.
They're down with the sickness. That's true.
The syphilicness.
They're down with the syphilis. Or whatever STD all koalas have. Look, they don't seem to care. They don't get self-conscious about having STDs. They're not like, I need to tell my partner about this ahead of time. They don't go to Reddit and say, hey, Reddit, I have an STD and I'm afraid my partner's going to judge me if I reveal it to them or leave me or something like that. Koalas don't do that.
To koalas, STD means sexy thunder from down under.
In fact, in the koala culture, the more STDs you have, the more attractive you are.
Look, they were the first Pokemon. I got to catch them all.
Gotta catch all the STDs. If a koala is like, if the top of a koala's skull is half eaten away by like syphilis, that's how you know
Is that how syphilis works?
Sure, why not? And that's how you know it's spread its seed around. It's a dominant koala because it has so much syphilis. And that's also the way syphilis works, is that if you get it, it's bad, and then you can get it even again, and that adds to it. It's additive. So it's like you just compound the syphilis over and over again. It's addictive. I'm addicted to your syphilis. By the way,
Can I say I love you?
the letters on your hat almost look like a swastika.
You're welcome. They don't almost look like a swastika. It's not even halfway close.
With the brim up, like blocking part of the letter, that kind of looks a little bit like one. So
you see what you want to see.
I've been seeing swastikas all over the place, man.
This is another Yakult Swallows hat.
Yakult Swallows. Oh, right, the baseball.
It's
team.
who I am. Yeah, slurping that yogurt all over the field, baby.
I would never guess that hat was in any way related to yogurt.
Technically, it's like 3 steps away from yogurt. It's like if Kevin Bacon ate... No, that's 1 step away from yogurt. Damn it. I was going to say if he ate Activia. I guess I meant if he...
It's so... if he... Yeah, how can you be 3 steps away from something you're literally eating and putting in your mouth?
Sorry, I meant if he ate, what's her face from the commercials.
If he ate what's her face?
Yeah.
If Kevin Bacon ate who?
She was in Trading Places. She was in Everything Everywhere all at the time. She had hot dog fingers. She's very famous.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes, the actress. Well, now I'm blanking too. So this is great content. This is really good.
The tent poles are up.
Just trying to remember names. Let's just try to remember the names of.
We should just. Why don't we just go read a list off Wikipedia of names?
Let's see if there is a Wikipedia article titled "List of Names."
I want to refocus this podcast. And I want to talk about introversion and extroversion.
Come on. I thought that was interesting to talk about, even though it was mostly me talking.
It's funny because that's an episode that's going to release this week or last week. I don't know how time works.
It doesn't matter. You just said this week and then corrected yourself to last week. But correct. Nobody who's watching this is going to go, wait, didn't he mean last week? Oh, it's a good thing he corrected himself saying last week. No one has any idea
It
what you're
doesn't
talking
matter,
about.
Ben. I have journalistic integrity, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes in this moment.
So I looked up
So,
list of names, and it appears on the larger Wikipedia article titled List of Lists of Lists, which is a gigantic list of lists that are of lists. So
yeah, I think we should all burn in the sun. Once, I mean, you have a thing that's a list. I mean, that's like 4 steps away from eating yogurt. We might as well just blow up civilization.
I'm sure yogurt is somewhere in that list of lists of lists.
List of yogurts that Jamie Lee Curtis has eaten because I've
Jamie
remembered
Lee
her name.
Curtis. That's her name. There you go. That's her name. Let's see.
So, in movies,
Hmm.
I want unrealistic things that occur.
Yes.
You can't park in front of a courthouse. You can't do it. You're not going to be able to just roll up, find beautiful parking, get out, and go in. I basically want to see a movie where the guy has something really important to do, but he cannot find a parking spot. And it'll be called The Parking Spot. And it'll be like a 2 hour thriller.
It sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
Probably is.
I mean, there's a parking lot where they can't find their car. So that's sort of like the falling action of the parking spot where he's done his thing and then he can't find his car afterward because he was in such a rush to park his car that he forgot where he parked it. He was so focused on where he had to get to.
Or also, there could be a thing where the person parks in front of the courthouse or whatever, goes in, saves the day, comes back out, their car is towed, and they have to go get their car, but this causes like all sorts of consequences that they have to deal with.
It ends up with the case that they were arguing getting thrown out or like having to be re-adjudicated.
Yeah, probably caught up in appeals because they found cocaine in the car or something. You could be a lawyer and high on cocaine and win a case, right? Legally?
Yeah, sure. Legal. I mean, I don't know if it's legal to be high on cocaine.
Sure
But,
it is. You don't possess it anymore.
That's
Too
true.
late. Too late, cops. Get out of my system.
That's a good question. Is it legal to be high on something? I know it's illegal to possess cocaine, but is it legal to be high on it? Because how can they prove that you're high on it unless you say it, obviously, or they do a blood test? I guess maybe that's why, like, when people are about to get caught with drugs, they just eat them. It's not to hide it. It's a legal loophole where they're like, well, I've already consumed it.
Littering and smoking the reefer. That's Super Troopers reference.
I haven't seen Super Troopers. Is it good?
Oh yeah, very funny.
What are the inconsistencies in Super Troopers? Since we're on inconsistencies, are there any in Super Troopers?
No, it's a perfect movie.
Oh, is it?
Absolutely. There's no flaws.
Okay, well, let's go back to this movie that you saw recently that did have flaws.
Okay, well, it is a recent movie that came out, so sorry if there's spoilers. But honestly, the plot made no sense. Everything made no sense. It was a movie called Play Dirty. Recently come out, Lakeith Stanfield, Marky Mark, of course. And one of my least favorite tropes is the invincible guy, the invincible person. They can just do whatever they want. Somehow they escape the law, even though they look like, Mark Wahlberg, pretty identifiable. And they somehow kill thousands of people with barely getting a scratch. That is a very frustrating thing. It's fun if it's kind of like sci-fi if it's removed from the general kind of sphere of relatability. It's like, oh, okay, sure, this guy's going on a rampage and he's in space or whatever. Like, I can suspend my disbelief. If you're going through New York in 2025, one of the plot points is they chased this guy for a bag of money onto a racetrack, and he comes out no mask or anything with a gun. I'm like, this is a racetrack. There are thousands of witnesses, hundreds at least, probably cameras. There's no way they didn't spot this guy. And he kills somebody, causes all sorts of damage, and then just gets away with it to go do other shenanigans.
Okay, so what is the premise of this film?
I don't know. He wants to get money or something.
Mark Wahlberg wants to get money.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg plays this guy named Parker, and everyone's like, "Ooh, it's Parker! Oh, fucking, how does Parker look? No one's gonna break into this vault. Oh, but it's Parker."
So he's like a known badass, basically.
Yeah, at one point he destroys public transit and has a train derail and go all through these streets and probably kills hundreds of people, at least causes $1 billion worth of damage. And somehow at the end, he's wearing his fucking turtleneck. He's like, well, I guess I'm out of the game now, or some bullshit. I'm like, dude, there's no way no one saw your face. That's crazy.
I think people are willing to give Mark Wahlberg a pass. I think that's what you're not realizing, is that some people are inherently likable. And that's central to the plot of this movie in a way that was simply not explained by the movie.
That's true, yeah.
It was directed by Shane Black, right?
Oh, yeah, his track record's not so good. I think he did the most recent like Predator remake that no one liked. He might be a good director, but I think he's a terrible writer, and he should hire real people. So, anyways, those are my two least favorite tropes in movies, I believe. People that get prime parking and people that are just completely invincible. They're like, oh, let's get the 1,000 special ops people that have been heavily trained. And there's just like one guy with a fucking like piece of stick, and somehow he just beats them all up because they come one at a time. Like, just shoot the guys and stop talking. My favorite was Mystery Men, when they're like, toggle the switches, and they're all toggling the switches, and they just blow up Greg Kinnear. And that starts off the whole movie.
I don't remember that from Mystery Men, but I do know what you're talking about with regard to the people having guns and like being completely ineffectual. There's a YouTube channel called Red Letter Media where one guy says, "Oh no, why did I run in with a ranged weapon?" That sort of thing. It's that stupid shit. It's just shoot your gun. You're meant to hit someone from far away with it. You don't need to be up close.
Yeah.
Just kill them and end this miserable story.
Like Batman, the Nolan Batman, I forget what the last one's called.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like the cops are all there with their guns, and then all the thugs are there with their guns, and then they just run at each other with the guns instead of like just having a shootout.
Well, a shootout would be sad. You know, shootouts are just sad.
Well, don't have them have guns then.
I know,
Come up
it's
with
stupid.
a reason that they couldn't get to the armory or some bullshit, you know? Like, you can't just have them have guns and then no one fires one bullet.
And see, that is the reason why I think we need to repeal the Second Amendment. It's because it makes movies boring.
Yeah.
If everybody has a gun, then nothing interesting can happen. What's interesting about movies is people being effectual up close. Getting into close quarters combat, knives, fists, swords.
Also, if there are no guns, then like the person having like one gun creates this very tense situation where they have like this power, but you know,
Yes.
probably they're grappling with it because no one else is using guns. So they got it for a specific reason, you know?
Right. As opposed to it just being pew 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 pew. Pew, 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 just endless. That, well, also, a weird dark plot point in The Dark Knight Rises, speaking of bad plot points, was when literally every single police officer in the entirety of Gotham runs underground and gets trapped. Do you remember that?
It's like a big tunnel, right? Or something?
They were in the subway or something, and they're like... Send in 2 guys to scope it out. Don't send the entire...
Look, we have credible intel.
Yes, exactly. Or send in a drone. I'm sure they had drones in 2012. See what the bomb threat was or something like that. Don't send in the entire police force of Gotham City.
Look, they weren't doing it much anyways. They were just on Batman mop-up duty. Like, they were ineffective. So maybe it was best.
That's why Batman was to be being Batman in the first place, because the police weren't getting stuff done. So maybe they were just so incompetent. So, okay. I do find it funny that, like, the 2 things you hate most in a movie are a very big problem and a very minor problem, which is parking in front of a courthouse. That's a very tiny plot point versus a guy being literally invincible and having plot armor. Much bigger structural
I
issue.
I won't. I will argue against that. I will say people. It's not just a courthouse. It's anywhere people just get premium parking. They're like running late, and they just like happen to get the best spot in the universe to like show up for the date 2 minutes before the person leaves or whatever. Like they should be having to look around for parking and stressing the fuck out. Like you don't just get to drive up and save the day. You gotta park. Take a cab if you don't want to park. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's huge to the plot because a lot of times they need to get that front spot because they need to get into the place before a door closes. They close for the day. Someone leaves. It's very integral to a lot of movies is people parking to be able to run into something.
Well, there's something similar happens in the most recent Paul Thomas Anderson movie called One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty good.
It was great. I saw it twice.
Wow. Two battles after another.
Two battles after another. It was one battle after another battle after another battle. I saw it twice, and there's a part where Leonardo DiCaprio has to basically escape his house and get to Benicio del Toro's dojo. This is in the middle of like an ice raid on this town. And
Very
Benicio
cool.
del Toro is like, he's sort of running this underground railroad for immigrants. DiCaprio, he has to run from his house. So he runs from his house, he runs into the city. He runs into this guy's dojo just as this guy's getting ready to leave to go help these immigrants. And like, if his house had just been a little farther from the dojo, or if he hadn't run as fast, or if there had been a detour or something, or if he got lost, he wouldn't have gotten to the dojo in time. Del Toro would have left, and none of the rest of the movie would have happened at all.
Did they keep cutting back to Del Toro? He's like, oh shit, I forgot my keys. Oops, I forgot to turn the oven off. So they bought him like 30-second increments. Oh shit, I gotta go to the bathroom before I go help the immigrants. Whoops.
It sort of was like that. They were cutting back and forth. And I think what the cutting back and forth does is it distracts you from the fact that our main character was coincidentally able to get to Del Toro just in time.
It distorts time. But if they cut back and forth, how do we know that Leonardo DiCaprio's character didn't find a bicycle and a skateboard and some rollerblades? He could have like hit on the back of like a UPS truck.
Yeah. In fact, in a Q&A with Paul Thomas Anderson specifically said, yeah, in fact, the reason DiCaprio was even able to get to Del Toro in the first place was because when we cut away from DiCaprio, he secretly stole a tricycle and big-wheeled his way all the way over to the karate dojo.
They should have shown him pushing that kid off. I mean,
Yeah.
That's probably true to the character.
No, he's like a revolutionary sort of
Yeah.
Antifa
Start
type.
the revolution young.
Yeah, a white man pushes you off your trike. That'll radicalize you. For sure.
Absolutely.
Another big plot problem I have was in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Remember
was
that?
the plot that the whole plot was just astronomically made no sense?
Well, there was that, but mainly the biggest issue I had was how she had that dagger that was keyed. It was sort of cut out to resemble the fallen Death Star, and at the point of the dagger is the location of like the thing she's looking for. But like, this is assuming the Death Star hasn't decayed or fallen or sunk down even lower into the earth or into the ocean. It's just perfectly lines up with this dumb little dagger that she just so happened to find in a sand pit, like underground.
The Force works in mysterious ways, Ben.
Yeah, the Force isn't meant to be a plot point, though. I guess it is. I guess it absolutely is.
The guy in Rogue One says, I'm one with the Force is one with me. And that's a plot point.
Right, but that's sort of like a religious thing, like saying Jesus loves me. You know, there's a difference between saying, like, may the Force be with you, I'm one with the Force is one with me, and then actually using the Force to sort of heal some dumb worm or something like that, which was a great reveal in that movie.
Well, the Force is a STD. That's why koalas have very good telekinetic powers.
Yeah, that's why in the first draft of Star Wars, the Force was actually called, don't worry, I'll cut that out.
In the first draft of Star Wars, the Force was actually called the koalas.
In the first draft of Star Wars, the Force was actually just called gonorrhea. That's what it was. The Force was literally gonorrhea, and it gave you psychic powers.
It was Gonna Ray. Is that her name? Ray?
Ray Skywalker. Right? No, it was Ray Palpatine.
Man, that sucked.
Yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did.
Then they kiss and he fell down a pit or some shit. Like, ugh, dude.
Well, see, there's one point where like she revived, like Ben Solo dies, and then she brings him back to life, and they kiss, and then I think she should have died, and he brings her back to life, and then they kiss, and it just sort of they just sort of been reviving each other the whole time, and then while that's happening, Palpatine just fries them both with like Force lightning. That would have been a funny and good ending that I would have approved of, and no one else would have approved of.
Do you think he owns an oven?
Palpatine? Air fryer, maybe. I don't know if he has a like a convection oven, a traditional oven.
Well, I figure he could just like lightning shit to cook it.
Cook it. Yeah, but that only cooks the outside. You need to sort of cook the things fully through.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he can put a nice sear on something, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Blackened chicken action. He's like trying to cook it, it just explodes.
Right. He could sear the outside of some ahi tuna, keep it raw on the inside, and it would still be pretty good.
I would have watched those special features. Emperor Palpatine's just doing some like hibachi.
Yes. Using the Force to literally just toss onions up into the air and then sort of flash fry them with his stupid lightning fingers. Of course, almost every time he uses lightning, it just backfires on him and ends up killing him. Did you see Andor?
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
It's so good.
Okay. I am worried because season 1 was so good, and I don't know. I'm scared. Also, I keep not getting my parents' password, so I can't.
There's the main reason. There it is.
There's the rub. There's the rub.
It has nothing to do with whether to live up to season 1. It's just getting the password from your parents for Disney Plus.
There's a little bit. There's a little bit of fear in the Star Wars universe of doing more. Like fucking The Mandalorian season 2. The season 1 was like amazing. It was perfect. Season 2, meh.
I watched season 2. I thought it wasn't great, and apparently season 3 was terrible. So you watched season 3?
Yes.
Andor is not terrible. Andor is excellent. And in fact, I thought it was better than Rogue One. I wasn't a big fan of Rogue One. I watched Rogue One immediately afterward. And I thought this movie's kind of lacking, especially compared to Andor.
I want more Diego Luna.
He's very good. He ate right, man. He did not look like he aged a bit. That guy did everything right, whatever it is.
He's probably on the Paul Rudd Youngblood serum.
Yeah, whatever that is, it's keeping him young. Watch Andor season 2. I give it 3 thumbs up. 2 thumbs and an index finger.
He gives it an S and 2 thumbs for season 2. That's the Steinberg promise. This has been this is a Star Wars podcast now.
Yeah, it's just Star Wars discussion. I give Andor season 2 stormtrooping thumbs up, bro. This is Unusable. Thank you for watching.
Sorry
For watching.
I'm sorry that you had such a good time watching this.
I'm sorry too. I'm sorry.
Tyler Martin.
I'm sorry for a lot of things. Ben Steinberg.